So, as you can see, Lola's not here this week, so we got a new buddy.
It's me. It's Eugenia. I'll do the Kids and YA event coordinator here at BookPeople. I'm excited. I am mainly here to talk about one specific book that I'm extra excited about, but really we have a lot of great stuff to talk about.
We do. There are a lot of books out. This is my favorite part about summer is every week I'm like, there are so many books out. And then I'm like, oh, it's next week too. Like it's not a rare occasion that there are a ton of books.
Mhm.
So we are going to be talking to you for at least a little bit about all these cool books coming out. If you have any comments or questions about the books, just go ahead and drop them in the Facebook page. Henny will have it open so she can see any comments you have, questions about the books. And yeah, so as you guys know, I'm Shannon. I am the person who tells you about all the books and works with all the teens. So we're gonna get started because there is a lot of books, and I know Eugenia might spend the entire time talking about one book in particular. And if you're watching right now, I bet you can guess which one it is. So if you want to kick it off with that, you can go ahead and do that.
Okay, guys. So on Tuesday, one of my most anticipated books of the year came out. It's Puddin' by Julie Murphy. It's kind of a follow-up to Dumplin'. Yeah, it's a companion. It's not really like a sequel or anything like that. It's a great companion. And this one follows two characters who we met in Dumplin', Millie and Callie. And it's just a really interesting perspective. Like it's about their very unlikely friendship. They're two very different people. If you've read Dumplin', then you're familiar with Callie as kind of like the mean girl, you know, who stole Willow Dean's best friend away and blah, 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 and all of that. But really you get to know her and get to know that, you know, clearly there are levels and different facets to a person's personality and why they do what they do and all of that. I really loved it just because you know, Julie Murphy has such a great sense of humor. She's hilarious. She's, you know, super pop culture addict. And so I am as well. And so she talks, you know, like makeup and movies and like all of these things. Dolly Parton again, as you know, Julie Murphy's a huge Dolly Parton fan, Dolly Parton person. So anyway, I am a freak. So I did the pre-order campaign through Blue Willow Books. So shout out to a fellow Texas indie bookstore. And so I got a bunch of swag along with my signed copy of Puddin', which included these adorable patches.
Oh my God,
I'm
they're
obsessed.
So cute.
And I also got a Callie and Millie enamel pens, which I forgot at home, but they're so cute. And it's also like such a great gift, like for your bestie, like if you want to, you know, if they're a fan or even if they're not, and you want to introduce them to this book and to Dumplin' and just get them in a little enamel pin. And I think Julie Murphy's like posting about other ways to get these cute enamel pins. So that's really cool.
And it's really important to note that because it's a companion, you don't have to have read Dumplin' to understand what's going on in Puddin'. They reference characters, but they still do, like Julie does a great job of kind of telling you who those characters are and kind of you can context clues like how they're related to these people if you don't already know. So you can start with Puddin' and then go back to Dumplin'. I had read Dumplin' already, but I didn't reread it before I read Puddin'. And then I read Puddin', and then I went back and reread Dumplin', and it totally changes like all of the background information in Dumplin' for you. So I recommend if you're gonna read Puddin' and you've already read Dumplin', read Dumplin' again afterwards because it's really cool to see like especially with the whole Callie dynamic in Dumplin', I was like, okay, like,
yeah, you see things differently.
I see you. And then with Millie, I mean, Millie is like such an inspirational character because she never really gets upset about anything.
Yeah,
and so
I can't live life that way.
It's just like she gets the best quotes though because she's got all these great motivational quotes for you.
For sure.
And she's just like, it's great because she's so sugary sweet and Callie is like fire. And so when they come together in their cross paths, like it's just like, okay, well, this is gonna end bad.
Yeah. And just like Dumplin', like both of them are so great, you know, about female solidarity and about self-confidence, self-love. And it's also like Dumplin' is a great option for like your summer reads. It's out in paperback, so it's like affordable and like it's just great, you know, for the beach, for the plane, or just cuddling up, you know, on your couch at home.
In the AC.
Yeah, in the AC, exactly. And so yeah, I just like definitely one of my biggest recommendations for the summer is both of them. I feel like if you buy Dumplin' and you read it, you won't not read
It's true.
Like, you're going to be like, I need the next one.
I need to know more about this whole town.
The whole world, the whole town, everything.
Like, I just need everything Julie Murphy touches, and that's also true.
Yeah. Oh, and just before we move on from Julie Murphy, Ramona Blue is also out in paperback now, so that's a really good choice for summer.
If you come into BookPeople to get your copy of Put In, they're actually on the shelf right next to each other, so you can pick them up at the same time.
Yeah. And you'll see my staff recommendation card behind the information desk, in which I talk about how much I love this book. So,
in case you couldn't tell.
Yeah.
On the complete opposite side, but something that I need to talk about more than anything. So when this book, it's called Undead Girl Gang. When this book got pitched to me by our rep, she said, I don't know, it's like The Craft in the 90s, which of course The Craft took place in the 90s, but she's like, it's like the 90s meets The Craft, and it's about a bunch of cool chicks, and I was like, yeah, you had me at The Craft.
The Craft.
Like, I was like, you didn't have to say anything else, I was sold.
Yeah.
So it's actually called Veronica Mars Meets The Craft by all of the, like, publishing, like, blurbs and stuff, which... I feel like there's nothing, what else do I need to say? It's Veronica Mars Meets The Crafts. But it's about witches, which, of course it is, and there's not, like, it's just pink. I always try to undress the books to see if there's anything cool. But the girls, it's true 90s. Like, they're wearing, like, Doc Martens. They have pins on their denim jackets. They are witches, and there's all this kind of like girl connection, girl friendships. There's like a suicide pact. There's all this stuff. So it's very, very much The Craft with a little bit more of a spunky edge to it. And like a more like lighthearted edge. Like there's not like, it's kind of like the early part of The Craft. Yeah. Like where they're like light as a feather, stiff as a board, kind of like fun moments.
Yeah.
There is like some dark turns, and there are some like magical like things. There is some murder, all kinds of stuff like that. So, I mean, personally, for me, I kind of feel like it's Pretty Little Liars meets The Craft, but that's just because I'm pandering to Eugenia sitting next to me right now. So, but there is a killer on the loose, and these witches have to come together and kind of fight it.
So that reminds me. Okay, speaking about Pretty Little Liars, I don't have it right now, but I did get an arc of this book that's coming out in a couple of weeks called Lies You Never Told Me, and it's by author Jennifer Donaldson, and we actually have an event with her Saturday, June 2nd at 6. And it reminded me of it because, I mean, the word lies is on the title, so you get the idea, but it's like a really creepy YA thriller, which I love. It's totally my thing. And again, like, people are selling it as Pretty Little Liars mixed with, like, fans for Pretty Little Liars and Big Little Lies. So many lies. But it's great because it's told from like the perspectives of multiple characters, partly set in Austin, which is always fun for me. Like, I love it. It's like, oh, where are they? Oh, I know that place. Blah, blah, blah.
Oh, I've been there.
Yeah, I've been there. Oh my God.
I often lied to someone there.
Yeah. So anyway, like, I wish I had a copy to hold up, but just remember the title, Lies You Never Told Me. It's really great if you love kind of creepy, like Pretty Little Liars, Riverdale, like all that stuff. Very, very well written. It has specifically certain relationships that remind me of Pretty Little Liars, but done in a less problematic way. But anyway, she's a local author, which is very exciting. We love supporting our local authors. June 2nd, 6 p.m. If you love like binge reading, you will love this book, and we'll definitely talk about it when it comes out. So
if you guys don't know, you can always pull up the event section on our website. And you can actually click on one of the drop-down menus and just bring up the young adult events. So if you're wanting to know what teen lit events are coming up, you can actually cater the calendar to just show teen events. And then you can scroll through and see all of the stuff that Eugenia works so hard to put on that calendar for you.
I try.
It's awesome. There's tons of, do you want to mention the other event coming up in June while you're at
Yes. I guess since we're talking about events, so we have another very exciting event coming up in June. So Stephanie Garber, author of Caraval, which was beloved by our booksellers, like very popular here at BookPeople. And so if you love, I'm like, how does this work? If you love,
is not our thing, guys.
If you love like fantasy, magic, like it's a really fun book about this kind of performance where the audience members get to participate. Things get a little creepy and mysterious, but it's a really fun book. And the follow-up, Legendary, is coming out. And so Stephanie Garber is going to be here June 9th at 6 p.m. to talk about the follow-up, which is super cool. And also, she'll be in conversation with local author Amy Tintera, you know, from Avenged, Allied.
I was gonna say we just talked about Allied last week. We do have signed copies of Allied in stock. I'm just saying, showing that out there.
It's great. I think it's gonna be a really fun event. And again, like even if you haven't read this book, it's not out in paperback, so I really recommend it. Also great for like summer vacation, like you know, it's a fast read because you're gonna get it's very captivating. And the two sisters that you know the main characters are sisters, and they have this really fun, great relationship, this like unbreakable bond, and you'll really fall in love with them. And the follow-up is told kind of from the perspective, or like focused on the other sister. I can't believe I forgot her name. Tella. But anyway, I really recommend it. June 9th, please join us. You'll start seeing a lot more about it on BookPeople social media.
Absolutely.
Leading up to it.
So, I like how she looks at me like, don't forget.
Like, you're going to talk about it.
You're going to do that. The Way You Make Me Feel. This is another one that's going to be like, it's big, that everybody's talking about. I know that's one that you were talking about earlier.
I mean, there's food involved. So naturally, I like any book that has food in it and food descriptions. It's my thing. And so basically like the family in the book owns this like Korean Brazilian food truck, which sounds incredible.
I'm already hungry.
Yeah. But anyway, like Clara, who's the main character, you know, she doesn't take life too seriously. And then she kind of gets in trouble with her family, and her dad's like, you need to, you know, straighten your life out. And so he makes her work at their food truck over the summer. And, you know, it's her kind of nemesis is there too. And so again, it's like similar to Dumplin' in the way that, you know, you gain perspective when you get to know the people that you feel a certain way about, and you realize, oh, like things aren't always the way it seems. So yeah, Maureen Gu is great. Like she wrote I Believe in a Thing Called Love, which came out last year, and it was such a great book. So everyone's excited about this, and I really recommend it. And not only for the food descriptions, but that always helps.
And what I love is I think that every week for the last month and a half, we've had a book that had to do with some kind of like food truck or shop for the summer. And so it's kind of awesome. Apparently, guys, you should get a job this summer at a food truck.
I mean, if you live in Austin, you have no excuse. They're everywhere.
Or just read about it. I mean, it's whatever.
Yeah, I'll just read about it and also be a loyal customer to them. So.
Yeah, does that book have anything cool on the inside if you undress it?
Oh, right. No.
So it's such a pretty color, though.
Yeah.
Interesting book over there. I think you've got it under the Bobby Scott. Yeah, We'll Fly Away. So this book is about two best friends who, Luke and Toby, who have been best friends since childhood. All they wanted was to get out of the dead-end town, and soon they finally will. Luke's got a wrestling scholarship, and they're trying to get away from like their abusive parents and their unreliable parents. But what's cool about this is what you're hearing, right? This sounds like the standard, like, oh my God, these two guys are going to get out of their town. They're like, it sounds like a boy version of Put In kind of thing. And then you actually see that it's the format of the story is told between Luke's letters to Toby from death row about the events of their senior year.
Oh my God.
So there's actually, you see what led to Luke's incarceration. And Luke was the one who had like the scholarship and was getting out of the town. And it sounds like Toby was the one who had less chance. But the book is actually told from those letters, and it's got everything about like abuse, sex, love, friendship, and how far people go to protect for those that they love. And it's actually recommended for people who are fans of Jason Reynolds, which is us. It's the two of us right here. So, but I'm really curious. Like when I saw that it took place, like it was told in the format of like Luke, because I was like, oh, Luke's gonna get a wrestling scholarship. He's on his way out. Like I said, it sounded just like a boy characters in the similar story to Put In. And then that happened, and I was like, oh, that's not where I thought that was going.
I mean, the twists, guys. The twists sometimes are what makes the book. So is it told through letters?
It says that it alternates, like, and it has some of his letters in there. So it's definitely told in still regular story form, but there are some of the stories, which makes more sense when I see the letters on the cover.
On the cover,
everything now.
It's such a good cover.
It is really good.
Okay.
Perspective. And what a great like thing to like We'll Fly Away letters, and they turn them in paper airplanes. The cover's just genius.
It's cute.
The Stars at October Road, right here. This is for, speaking of fans of Jason Reynolds, this is for fans who are people who are fans of lyrical prose. We've got, you can see some right in the back of the book. Good job, Shannon.
Yeah.
You can see that there's a lot of verse told in the story in this one, and this is supposed to be a poetic, mysterious adventure into the language of the human spirit. And it's everybody that talks about this book talks about how beautiful it is, and how it's just like you absolutely cannot.
You're always like waiting to uncover like this precious gift.
Because sometimes
I know,
you open them and it's
true.
Like, whoa,
it's true. I actually haven't done that with pudding. I'm assuming it's just gonna be a black cover. Yes. Okay.
Kind of just like dumpling.
Yes. Okay.
But
fine.
I know. And every once in a while, though, you open it up, and there was one we opened, I think, last week or the week before, and you took it off, and the entire cover was like a Comic-Con theme.
That's
like
cool.
The book itself, and we were like. And it was full color and everything, and I was like, this never happens. I usually just get like a plain cover. But this book is lyrical prose told in two voices, two traumatized teens who find each other in a small riverside town. I can. It's hard, but I can. And so it's going to be an interesting one of those things where it's two people like coming out of trauma and finding their way. And finding each other, but it's just one of those, like, human spirit, like, you can definitely, it's going to be a quick read. It's not very long, and it's got a lot of that prose stuff, like, points in there. So, it never fails, like, the books that have prose in them will probably make you cry.
Yep.
So, looking at you, Jason Reynolds, and Ellen Hopkins.
I knew you were going to say Ellen Hopkins.
Every time, I just got the arc for her
new
next
one, yeah.
And I'm already, like, I look at it, and I already want to cry.
Yeah.
So, I'm a little afraid to actually open it up and read it.
I remember I went to school visits with her, and she was just talking about how a lot of her books come from like her real life, and all the students were just like in shock, especially like students who like love her work and like have read her and everything.
Crank and all of those, I mean, they're about drug addiction, and it's about her daughter and her daughter's experiences with it. And she said it like I think like 89% real biographical information, and that's insane to me. So, what do you got?
Okay, so I actually want you to tell me about this book because this book, Bobby Sky, Boy Band or Die by Joe Shine. So it's a really funny thing I heard about this book. So the author, Joe Shine, is local. He was born and raised in Austin, and he currently lives, in Round Rock. But weirdly enough, like his sister, Sarah, shout out to Sarah from Round Rock High School. We work with her a lot on like school visits and events. And so she's the one who is like, hey, this is my brother. And I'm like, what? I had no idea.
I know.
So that's really cool. But yeah, like, can you tell me a little bit about this book? Like, Boy Band or Die? What?
Yeah. What I love about it is, first of all, is that Kirsten White is one of the people who blurbed it, and I love her so much. But this is definitely it's a kid who he has like a great singing voice. He's known for bursting in a song at the wrong times. Nothing keeps him out of trouble, and he's arrested again and given a choice between die in juvie or become a shadow, the fearless, unstoppable, top secret guardian of future important people. Don't really know what that means. I'm like, is this like a shield, like Hydra thing? Like they can sort out like who important people is, like Big Brother, like going back like before Marvel movies existed. Is this like they're gonna like call out like attention to who these people are and magically know, and they train people to do that? So I mean, if you've got life in juvie, which I mean, eventually I believe you go to prison. I don't think you actually go to juvie forever. Or be this protector of future important people. He's like, oh, I am going to do this future important people. So after 2 years at the Future Affairs Training and Education, the Fates Center, he can now barely remember who he once was, and he's ready to be plunged into a battle zone. And it turns out that the person he has to protect is a future frontman of a boy band. And
it's so random. I love it.
So he has to join the band and change his name and be in a boy band. It's so great. I'm like, this would be like my life. They'd be like, okay, like you can either go to like juvie or you can like become a member of this secret elite, like top like secret service kind of like mentality. And I'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna be a spy. It's gonna be awesome. I'm gonna protect people. And they're gonna be like, you're in a boy band now. Or like a girl band. Hey, if you want to tell me that in order to not go to juvie, I have to join like the reincarnation of the Spice Girls, I'm in.
Oh, me too. I was always Ginger Spice.
I always like couldn't decide between Baby Spice and Posh Spice because like you know, now as an adult I'm like, it's definitely Posh because you get David Beckham, but I mean I always liked Baby Spice's cute little dresses and like funky shoes.
I was always Ginger.
Well, that's because she had all the awesome Martins.
Yeah, but especially Texas readers might recognize Joe Shine because his book I Become Shadow was a Lone Star read from the TLA's Lone Star list. So, you know, if there are any fans of I Become Shadow out there, then you might really enjoy this book.
Another one that I'm really excited about, The Handsome Girl and Her Beautiful Boy. So this instantly gets your attention because of the reverse like adjectives used, and for the right reason. Everyone thinks that Z is a lesbian. Her classmates, her gym buddies, even her friends and like her relatives, like they just assume that she is, and so she's like, maybe I am. I don't really know. And then on the flip side, Art, everybody assumes that he's gay. And so the two of them kind of come together and they start like investigating what that means. Like, what do those terms mean? And are they really that? Or is it just that like people throw those words around at somebody who doesn't do the same things they do? And so they start to explore their own themselves, but also they start to form a relationship. And then it's kind of like, okay, so like, what does that mean? Like, if you are a lesbian but you like me and I am like gay, like what does that mean? So it's really great to like see this you know, finding yourself and like living in your authentic self kind of thing.
That's awesome.
It's a great, I think it's going to be one of those great conversation starters. One of those where you're like, okay, well, you know, too many people don't know what that means. And so, like, let's stop just using the terms and start actually, like, letting people love who they love and be who they want to be. So, do you know much about surface tension?
I don't.
I don't have too much about it either, but this is surface tension. After witnessing an act of domestic terrorism while training on his bike, Jake is found near death with a serious head injury and unable to remember the plane crash or the aftermath that landed him in the hospital.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
Yeah, and I think I have a copy of Ashfall, actually. I think I read that. Actually, I think that Mike Mullins and I are friends, or Mullen and I are friends on Twitter. Like, from back when Ashfall came out.
Well, it's awkward that you don't know enough about it.
I know, and so I'm like, oh, I haven't, like, seen much about this one, but it sounds like it's very interesting. There's a lot of, which I appreciate that there's a lot of books coming out recently that kind of deal with more of those kind of situations for teens. To see like more of this like domestic terrorism and the things they're going, because they are being faced with those, they are on the front line of all of those things right now. So I love that teens are getting these books where it can help like start those conversations. It's great for educators too to pick up those books and say like, okay, this is what you're seeing in the book. What would you do in real life? Like, what are the, like, how do we handle these situations? And so it's a really interesting thing. And the terrorist leader's teenage daughter is sent to kill Jake and eliminate him as a possible witness. And so it's a night, like, it's like a crazy, like, where's this gonna go? Like, he doesn't remember much, but all of this stuff is happening. So can he figure out like what happened? Because right now they're trying to kill him and he doesn't even know what happened. So
that sounds interesting. I have a lot of books to add to my summer reading list. Oh my god.
Yeah, I can't even like begin to describe the summer reading list that I have, and then it's just gonna get like, it's not even summer yet, so it's gonna get even longer.
I hope it's, I don't know, I feel like it's summer.
I know.
It's really hot here in Texas, guys. I'm like, woo!
It already is summer. Yes, it is. And then lastly, we've got The Foreseeable Future.
Ooh,
I think this cover is gorgeous. And it's just blue on the inside, guys. But look at this watercolor painting, like, of a cover. It snaps around with the watercolor too. I was watching a live stream for a comic book. One of the major comic book companies. I'm totally not going to sell them out for doing this, even though the guy on the live stream had a panic attack on the live stream, because the person doing the live stream with him, they had like a really cool wraparound cover like this, and he was like, oh my god, this is amazing, and he opens it this way and then pushes it down to like flatten it out on the table so they can see it, and you hear the spine crack. And then you hear, and for those of you who don't know, once the spine on your comic book is ruined, your comic book is no longer worth anything. So for anybody who possibly wanted that comic to have value for any point in its life, it is no longer worth even the money that you paid to buy it. Oh, and so the guy that's like hosting the live stream is going, what did you do? Oh my God. And the guy's like, what? I wanted everybody to see the cover. And he's like, no, you could have just put another one next to it. Like, he's like panicking. And then the guy's like, oh, and he's like, I'm okay, whatever. And he keeps going. And then he's like talking about how there's like this big spread in the inside too. So he opens up the inside and he cracks it the other way and pushes the other way down. No. And he's like sitting there like pushing on it so it'll stay flat. And the guy that was hosting the live stream has just completely lost it at this point and can no longer breathe. Like, I was like, this poor guy, like, he's gonna die on the internet because he cannot function right now. And that's just what that made me think of. And I was like, guys, like there's a back. Like, I'm just gonna turn it around because you can see that it connects if I don't crack the spine, especially on a book. I feel like you all would die at home a little bit. So, but this book is the main character Audrey is planning her future after graduation and has no idea her future contains a super swoony summer romance. Really, guys, did we put those words together? The 3 SU words. Super swoony summer romance. That sound is and containing internet fame and or a nursing home. So she's got like options of like summer romance, internet fame, or working at a nursing home. And
internet fame.
I know.
So this is definitely like a new thing that's happening. Like I also like noticed in the Way You Make Me Feel that the mom is like an influencer. Yes. And I'm just like, we're here now. This is
we talked about that last week in the office. I was like, oh my God, guys, did you know the mom in this book is a social media influencer? Like we've hit the point where that's now a job in books. And with how long books take to come out, it's like, wow, somebody was doing that in their head like a year and a half ago. Yeah. And I think that's crazy, like, that we've gotten to the point where, that's so interesting. But like, even if you look up on the internet now, like, that's like what people will like list like on LinkedIn and stuff. Like a bunch of my connections are like social media influencer, and I'm like,
I mean, if that's how you make money, then props. How are you doing it? Tell me.
Yeah. Like,
tell me all your secrets.
I would like to follow your Instagram if you are. So if you are a social media influencer, drop your Instagram in the tag in the comments because I would love to follow you on Instagram.
I want like Home Slice to sponsor me. How do I make that happen?
I feel like you have a much better chance of like Joe's Coffee because that's where you and your dog are always
I'm at Joe's Coffee all the time. They treat my dog real well, guys.
I feel like that's where you're most likely to get picked up by because there's a new picture of you and Chandler there like every day on the internet.
Yep, it's true.
But so she's after this. She's every aspect of her life has always been planned out. They tell her where she's going. They tell her where she's gonna work. But this summer, like, she's like, I'm gonna do whatever. I'm not gonna go to the college. I'm gonna move to Seattle and I'm gonna start my own life. And I'm really curious because there are not enough books, in my opinion, based in Seattle.
Yeah, there's not.
And I love Seattle. I would really be surprised. Like Undead Girl Gang being in the 90s. Like, come on, that should be. Oh. Hey guys, what do we got? We got some comments?
We have one comment. I don't know how to make this stop.
You have to turn your sound down.
I'm like, hello from Lake of the Pines in Northeast Texas.
Oh wow!
Hello. Hey. I'm like, I'm gonna pretend that didn't happen.
I do it every week. Yeah. Every week I turn it on. Or one week I forgot to turn Facebook off on my computer when I set up the video to run through there.
That's great.
And so then it was going ding, 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 and I was like, oh, at least you guys know I'm cool, I guess.
Yeah. Like, but please just ignore what just happened.
Yeah, just ignore that.
What I was gonna mention about the foreseeable future, like there's something just about like books set throughout the summer. Like I just remember when I was younger and I mean, I feel like now, like, summers go by, like, so fast. Like, I'm just like, wait, what? It's already September? How did that happen? But when you're younger and you truly have those 3 months of freedom, and there's just something, like, the idea that you can, truly, like, it can be transformative. You know what I mean? Like, and I love, like, books that are set in some, like, a lot of Sarah Dessen's books that are set over the course of a summer, and, like, all that a summer can bring. So many opportunities, possibilities, whether it's work-related or, like, you know, like a significant other, a relationship, or like a friendship or something. Like, I just love that idea. And that's why, like, I particularly get really excited about reading YA during the summer because of that. Like, it's something
There's
that I
so
really enjoy about it. Just like the idea of when you're still like so young and that those 3 months can change everything.
And
I
they
just love
can.
it. Yeah, and it's true. Yeah.
And I love how many of them are like, it's the summer after senior year, because that is the point in life where you're
Yes.
like, I have no idea, but everybody keeps telling me I'm supposed to.
Yeah.
And I remember when I got there, I remember both the summer after senior year and right before graduating college the second time. And we were sitting there and we were like, this is like, are we supposed to, I had the same conversation at the point of both. And it was like, are we supposed to know what's going on right now? Like, I have no idea what I'm doing next. And I feel like I'm doing it wrong, but I'm sitting here with all of my friends and none of them know either. And it's like, I just kind of want to do this fun thing and like maybe just like stay here and like get a job for the summer and while I figure it out. And it's great that everybody said that. I just remember my stepdad like telling me, like, no, nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
Like, he's like, you're not even supposed to know until like, like he always said, like, your 20s are for figuring out who you are. Everything before that is just fine. 20s are for figuring out who you are. 30s are for figuring out what you want to do. 40s are for doing it. 50s are actually having money because you've been doing it. And I was like, cool, I've got time. I've got plenty of time to not know what I want to do. So I feel like I'm running out of that time, and I should probably figure it out eventually. But fine. It's all good.
Yeah, but yeah, that's, I think, I just wanted to say, like, that's what I really love about specifically these like May releases going into June, and it's really fun.
Yeah, absolutely. So there are a lot of new books, as you guys saw. Most importantly, like we said, you guys got to come get put in because Eugenia is waiting to talk to you all about it when you walk through the door.
Yes.
So whether you're here for put in or not, she's going to talk to you about it. So you better be here for it. But yeah, so come check out all the new books. Don't forget to check the calendar for all the June events that we have coming up. Check our Instagram story today for all the exciting details. Again, we'll have a post about each of these books as well as some other fun stuff going on. So,
do you want to talk about the book club?
Yes, and the first Wednesday in June, and I have a calendar, so I should know what day it is. But the first Wednesday in June, as usual, we tell you guys that we've got an awesome new book for book club.
I want to say it's the 6th.
It is, yes, June 6th. Good job. Yeah. I don't even know what day it is today. But we will be doing Shadow and Bone, the first book in the Grisha trilogy. So if you guys have never read Leigh Bardugo, it's okay. You can start now, and your life will forever be changed. She's amazing. The Grisha trilogy is actually, it's set in a fictional Russian world. So if you like Russian culture, Russian mythology, it's kind of going to be like that, except it's fictional. And it's magic, it's super swoony, sexy Darkling, which is the bad guy. He's amazing. You'll love him.
Shannon loves villains.
I do.
I do too.
Strong female character. It's great. She's wonderful. You kind of grow with her too, and it's one of those fantastic things. So, and Leigh Bardugo has the craziest world building skills I've ever seen in my life. So come pick up Shadow and Bone. Come for the book club. It's going to be a lot of fun to talk about, and it's kind of the first fantasy we've actually done in book club.
Yeah, in May, we talked about Simon versus the Homo sapiens agenda. It was a really fun time. We ate Oreos. I ate most of them. But yeah, if you're a grown-up who loves YA, then you found your people, so please come to book club, first Wednesday of every month.
I just read that other people bring wine to their Adults Who Love YA book club, and I was like, what?
Sure.
So we'll see, guys. Keep an eye out on the Facebook. If you are not already a member of the Facebook group, it's Second Star to the Right Book Club. You can join through the BookPeople website, or you can check it out on Facebook, Twitter. We kind of post about it all the time. So, we hope to see you guys here for that. And I have to pick July and August books like this week. So if you guys are interested in any books that you think we should be reading at the book club, throw them in the comments, and I will come back and check it out and let you guys know which ones I pick.
Yeah.
So, awesome. Well, we will see you guys in the store for all these awesome new releases. And if not, then you'll see us on the internet next Thursday at 11. Eugenia's rubbing in her swag again.
Yep. So, thanks for watching, y'all. Take care.
Thanks, guys.